Thank you for visiting at S.E.T.ORACLE. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, your subscribes, all of that good stuff, my G. So let's get down to it. I hope everybody is having a good week. Along with the detailed deck. Today, of course, you guys know this is a collective read, all signs included. Take what resonates, leave what does not. And always remember not to trip potato chip because you got that dip. You know? So. As above, so below. It is what it does. So, Father God, Most High, ancestors, angels, I ask that you grant the collective the serenity to accept the things that they cannot change, the courage to change the things that they can, and the wisdom to know the difference. First card out. Notary. No felony, misdemeanor, authorized to perform legal formalities, contracts, signatures, witnesses, deeds, documents, photo ID required, clean record exam. Okay, so somebody could have dealt with some contracts, or somebody could have went to somebody who has a, clean slate, paper documents. Yeah. Somebody went and got some documents signed. Team player. Hold up, because I'm up here before. Do a 4x4. Don't bank on potential. You'll be broke. In reverse. So they did. Somebody was depending on someone else who they thought was on their side to handle some legalities and contracts. Okay, so who is the notary, or what is the notary about? Exit. So the paperwork is the way out. It say no felony, misdemeanor. That jumped out at me. So the paperwork could be a way out of going to jail or having a felony charge. The doctored up paperwork could possibly be somebody's way out of something. Okay, what's these paper documents? They not like us, in reverse. They not like us. I'm getting the paper documents. They not like us. They could be fake. The paper documents are not like they're not like the originals I'm getting. That was their way out. The fake paper documents were their way out. They're not like us. They're not like the originals. So yeah, the original documents were changed for something so they can escape. Who's this team player? The stench of the meat suit. They're not like us, the stench of the meat suit. They were hiding who they are. Photo ID required. They were banking on the idea that they could hide under another identity to get out of something. Team player, stench of a meat suit. Team player and stench of a meat suit, that's giving me that this person is like a shapeshifter. Like this person would play basketball, hockey, baseball, football, tennis. This is a person of many personalities, many characters. Not like us, paper documents. This person is nothing. This person is nothing like what is on paper. And it's still not even telling me who this person is, because this person could be anybody at any given time. So whoever this person really is nothing like what's on paper. Because they hide it so well. They know how to hide that other side of them. They know how to hide all these different personalities. Who is this that banked on potential and now they're broke? Somebody with a low IQ. Somebody with a low IQ thought they had a way out with these fraudulent documents. He said, don't bank on potential. You'll be broke. In reverse. They did it. They did it. Upside, it's a warning. In reverse, to me, that card say they did it. Wow. So yeah, somebody with a low IQ thought they had a way out by pretending to be somebody else under false identification. And then they put it on paper. They put it on paper. Contracts. Signatures, because you gotta have a witness for a notary, right? And you need a photo ID. Did they do this several times, maybe? Maybe did they do this under different identities? We'll have to see. Okay, so what's this notary and the exit? Bank teller in reverse. So upright, it's honesty, integrity, discretion, mathematics, written, verbal communication, computer knowledge, process transfers, attention to detail, cash drawer, allocation, check cashing, withdrawals, cashier's checks, deposits, transfers, loan payments, open, close accounts. They had somebody shady working in the bank. So somebody shady was working in a bank. And these are people that, I mean, in order for you to have to sign any contracts or anything like that, I mean, you could do it online. But you'd have to have a form of ID and all of that stuff, you know. But if you were trying to take out large lump sums of money, like if you go into a bank, of course you're going to have an ID, because you need somebody that you could work with face to face versus over the computer, because that can easily be tracked. But if you're working with somebody face to face on how to do this, to me that's the same as a financial notary. Authorized to perform legal formalities. Be able to take money out of an account that does not have your name on it. You know, that goes back to that, and that gives me it gives me power of attorney to be able to get towards some type of finances, withdrawals, cashier's checks, to get to somebody's money, to get to some money. There has to be written and verbal communication, just like a notary. This person was not, whoever they got is not honest, lacks integrity. They're smart though. You know, they're definitely smart. But this person was so, like my mama would say, so smart you stupid. What's these paper documents and they not like us? Liability, disadvantage, probability, to bind, tie. Yeah. These paper documents are not like the real ones, which is why this bank teller that was hidden is tied to this. The bank teller was supposed to be the team player. Wow. So, the bank teller is the team player. The bank teller is the team player. Right? The bank teller is the team player. The bank teller is, like I said, the financial notary and the witness to deposits, withdrawals, all of that. Anything dealing with any type of bank accounts, right? Is a witness to sign off to these documents. And now, there's no way out for this teller. This teller is bound to these documents because the teller is the witness. The teller is witness to the contracts, the signatures, all of that, anything dealing with this account. This teller is at a disadvantage. This teller is a liability. This teller is tied to this account. And if this teller can get into any type of trouble for this, they just might fail. Because that paperwork is not like the rest. Stench of a meat suit, stench of a fraud. They feel that something or someone is fraudulent about all of this. And whatever is connected to is trying to get out of Dodge. Whoever this low vibrational energy is, because I consider low IQ, low vibration as well. Whoever this low vibrational energy is trying to find a way out But they can't, because they boxed in with this bank teller. Who is a team player. This bank teller cannot get out of this. This bank teller cannot get out of this. What's this team player stench of a meat suit? May, changes. 5, instability. Speculation. Hierophant. That's an institution. Hierophant. It doesn't necessarily have to just be a courtroom of sorts. It could also be a bank, a financial institution. So there could possibly be speculation of somebody working with somebody else, like this bank teller working with other people. Unity, religion, educator. 14, temperance, balance, guidance. Yeah, this bank teller was working with other people. They were being guided on how to do this, to keep things balanced, to keep things at peace for their lives, for their, home, for their relationships and things like that. For, Taurus and Libra could be significant. Something could have happened in May. Who banked on potential and is now broke with a low IQ? I'm never going to get over that. That's funny. Somebody who is confirmation. It came out wealthy in reverse, poor, lacking, money to live comfortably or considered normal in society, impoverished, made, formed via place, process, person, made, past, poor action. Person made a poor actions to become impoverished. Don't bank on potential. You'll be broke. This person didn't want to listen. Low IQ. And look, they ended up poor. This bank teller, who is now tied to these accounts and documents dealing with fraud and theft and financial, discrepancies, this person is now going to the poorhouse. I'm pretty sure they even lost their job. All right, so what's this notary exit bank teller? Okay, this bank teller can't run from this. This bank teller can't run from these fraudulent papers. So what's the bank teller gonna do now? Gossip, folks. People are talking about it. Whatever the bank teller about to do, people are talking about how this bank teller is tied to these fake identities because the bank teller, was banking on these people being able to do this. That's crazy. And now you in the poorhouse. And we still don't know who the rest of these people are. But we know this bank teller ain't doing too good. Or is about to not be doing too good. Okay, paper documents. They not like us. Liability. Okay, so what is it about these paper documents? Because I think they false paper documents. What is it about these bank documents that tie this bank teller to this? What do these false papers mean? Have they been found? Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs in reverse. I'm thinking that they're going to be found. If they haven't been found yet, they're going to be found because this bank teller can't get out of this. There's going to be changes. There's going to be changes for sure. The bank teller cannot get out of this, and they knew better. Gossip folks in reverse. Yeah, people are talking. People are talking about how they're in trouble. They probably don't know the extent, but people are talking about how they're in trouble and they can't get out of it. And I don't think people are going to help, because that puts them, if people try to help, that will put them in as a liability and put them at a disadvantage too. Because they probably know that they're working with other people. And now even the gossip folks could even be their team. They got to take them off the team and leave them to deal with this by themselves. Because like I said, we know what happened to the bank teller, but the bank teller ain't do all this by themselves. You feel me? So team players, stench of meat suit changes. What's going to happen with all these fake people? Because that's what a meat suit is. It's a mask, a fakeness. What's going to happen with all these fake people? Because there's going to be a change. But what's this change about to be? The people that's left, I should say. What's going to happen with the people that's left? Spontaneous. It's going to take time. It's almost like saying everybody knows what's about to happen to this bank teller, so they're just waiting on their turn. They're waiting on their turn. Because it doesn't matter. The bank teller is going down regardless. The rest of the team is going down regardless. Everybody's going to be impoverished. And it doesn't just have to be money. It could be emotions. It could be physical. It could be mental. It could be spiritual. But like, all in all, because we're talking 3D right now, whatever it is definitely going to lead to a financial decline. So what's going on with this person that's in low energy that's going to be poor? Because it says it twice in the same line. It said, I told you, they're going to be broke. Some way, somehow. They're gonna take it. If they're not broke, they're gonna take a major loss that's gonna take a minute to come back from. And I hope they can and do better next time if they get the chance. And if it looked like they about to go down that same road, go ahead and the universe gonna cut that water off. They're gonna cut it. They're gonna cut it off. They're gonna cut that line off. So what happens now with them? Because they're going to be poor regardless. They're going to lose something. They're going to take an L regardless. What happens with these low energy people? Misguided. They're misguided right now. It's just pretty much what it's telling me. Low IQ, misguided. It's confirming. I told you they're going to be broke because they're in low vibration. And then I told you again, they're going to be broke because they're in low vibration. They even wrote it in green. Green, 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 green. Confirmation. Paper documents. Still going. All right, one more line. All right, so we pretty much got people are talking about how they guided, how they were guided to do something in a rush. People are definitely talking about how they were guided to do something in a rush. And how they were guided to do something out of the box. So if the bank teller can't get out of this paperwork and people are talking about it, what happens from there? DNA, friction ridge formations, permanent persistent scarring disease. I think they start looking for people. For some reason, I think they're gonna start looking for people. Paper documents, the Hierophant, DNA, human blood fingerprints, permanent DNA. Like because I'm not thinking DNA like in the literal sense, like get your blood drawn and all of that. I'm thinking who is connected to these accounts? Like whose DNA is on the accounts? Whose name is on the accounts? Who has came in and out to take money off of the accounts? What names, what pictures, what IDs have been used to deposit, withdraw, that kind of stuff. That's what I think. Yeah, so the bank teller is going to have to give up the paperwork. Yep, the bank teller is pretty much going to have to give up the birth certificate of this bank account. Yeah. All right, so we got paper documents. They're not like us in reverse. Liability. SpaghettiOs. Okay. So these fake paper documents tie them to pretty much a tower. So what happens with the paperwork though? What's going to be done? What's going to be done with the false paperwork? Because I mean, there's fake identities and everything on there. Whoever these team players are. What's going to be done with the fraudulent paperwork? As you said, there's going to be. I feel like that's also saying it's going to take some time. Like, it's going to take a minute. It's not going to happen right away. And the changes are not going to happen right away. Yeah, not going to happen right away. Not going to happen right away. So what's going to like process over time, I guess you could say. Untrained, inexpert, unqualified, menial, amateur, uneducated. So the bank teller, wasn't even supposed to be in her position. They're going to find out that this team picked this bank teller because they knew that this person wasn't very, I mean, if this person was willing to do this person was in low vibrational energy as well, So yeah, as time progresses, everybody's going to realize, like, she's going to put it all together. And everybody's going to realize why she was picked. But why she was picked is going to backfire on them, because just as much as she was, I keep saying she, could possibly be a she, as much as he or she was willing to do this, you get what I'm saying? He or she will be willing to get their buns out of the fire. You feel me on that one? Like, you get what I'm saying? So if they got to save themselves, they'll save themselves. Amateur, unversed, not having skill, requiring skill or training. Like, they're not, the bank teller, she's not, I keep saying she. He or she was not built for this. They thought, don't bank on potential, you'll be broke. They thought that this team of people knew what they were doing. Everybody seemed well versed at something. So the bank teller just knew this was going to be easy. Now this bank teller is the one that's tied to this. With this financial institution that they used to work at, if they still got their job. And they're about to have some troubles ahead. And they're going to end up figuring out everybody that's connected to these accounts and these documents. Because this bank teller did not sign up for this. So this team of false identities is coming changes in slow time. It's gonna be slow but steady. So during that time, what are their best options? This team, knowing that the bank teller is going down, and the bank teller doesn't even have to tell them anything. They can go into the system and figure it out themselves. What happens to them? What while this is going on, what do they need to be worried about? This team of sports players. Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you. Just be still. In reverse. It came out in reverse. They got some work to do. I feel like they were warned against their better judgment not to do this. And I don't believe that they're being left or forsaken. What I believe is happening is that the good Lord helps those who help themselves. So they got to take care of this on their own. They got to take care of this on their own. And then once they do their part, the good Lord will do his. Exodus 14:14. That right now is not the time to be still. They got to move. They got to do something. Because this bank teller is going down regardless. They weren't built for this. And they're at a disadvantage because they're tied to this. Meanwhile, you guys, y'all got to start trying to make this right. Y'all gotta start getting ready to take care of y'all consequences. Hierophant for this team. Oh yeah, I feel like there's definitely gonna be some legal stuff going on. All right, I know you keep telling me, this line keep telling me, I told you they're gonna be broke because they in low vibration. I'm telling you they're gonna be broke because they are in low vibration. Okay, I'm not even gonna ask you nothing. Just sum it all up for me. So just sum it all up for me. Broke and then low. Broke because they're in low vibration. Broke until they find their way. You know, that's for the bank teller and the team. They're in low. They were broke. They're broke. The low vibration in them is the reason why they're broke, and they're gonna stay that way until they find, you know, which way to go. So, and long story short, if you're healing, cool. However, that way. They're not healing. If they don't heal, if they don't find the right way, they'll never get through this. They didn't want to heal. Because they thought they had this and nobody would ever trace anything to them. These team players. I feel like these team players really did use this bank teller because they knew this bank teller was not, you know, like them. I really do believe that. What's on the bottom? Bang the gavel in reverse. Gossip folks in reverse. People are talking about how somebody might be going to jail or somebody might have to go to court. Acute. They going into a unwelcome, difficult, bad situation. Yeah. She took the bait. That's tower in reverse. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. The same thing as a tower in reverse. That foundation's still coming down, but it's going to be a minute. Virgo in reverse, but we can turn it this way. Dentist, police, writer, doctor, Mercury. Mercury is in retrograde right now. Our work, health, habits, you know. How are you doing mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually? And then what do you do outside of yourself? And it was this way. So this is talking about Mercury retrograde. This is where you got to watch what you do. Prioritize self-care and be patient. What did I tell you? Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs, spontaneous in reverse. Everything is just going to take time. 3 to 30 years post-infection. Wow. It could be anywhere from 3 to 30 years that they have to deal with the consequences of their actions. This team players and this bank teller. for stealing. I don't know if you can see it. Stealing to get out of debt. Love and values in reverse, Venus. Love, values, attractions, finances, attitude. Finances for stealing. For stealing, how do I say this? For stealing energy. Because I feel like relationships, whether they be friendships or you're actually with somebody, those are energetic exchanges. So for relationships, I rather say energy. That way it includes all. So for stealing people's energy through relationships. With word magic. And hiding the fact that they didn't know what they were doing. The less you know, the better. So they really didn't tell this bank teller anything. Loins. They didn't tell this bank teller. It was like, how do I say, based around somebody's like sacral and solar plexus. Yeah. It was their will to get this money by tomorrow. Because they got things that's due. And somebody's hiding a sickness. So they could possibly need money because somebody is sick. Who knows? Insurable interest, property rights, contract rights, potential legal liability. I hope they wasn't trying to take somebody out for money because they know that they were sick already. Possibly a bartender. So they wouldn't go bankrupt. Wow. Last one. The revolution will be televised. Wow. So this bank teller is really about to go down because of what these people did. And we still don't know who these people are. But they're higher ups. They're higher up. They're higher up than this bank teller that they had helping them. But regardless of anything, the paperwork ties everybody to this contract, ties everybody to the financial exchanges. Liability right here, right? Next to liability, you got bank teller in reverse. Then next to liability and on the other side, you got Hierophant, unity, religion, educator. Okay. Above educator, go up a line. You got team player, Hierophant. That is a facility. That is a space usually dealing with more than one person in charge. Okay. So there was the bank teller who was a part of the paperwork, right? And then there were the higher-ups who were the hidden team players, who were also a part of the paperwork, right? Okay, so going down the paperwork, whatever the paperwork states, is nothing like who the team player is. I don't think the paperwork has anything to do with the bank teller's character. The bank teller is just the person that does the financial legalities on that. But the paperwork is nothing like the photo IDs required. The paperwork is not of these people, and the bank teller knows it. And because the identities is not like the people that's coming in to do this, that's how they're tied to it as well. But I guess right now in this time, we're not supposed to know who these team players really are. But what I can say is this bank teller is no longer needed with this group, because they already lost their job. They're already losing their money. And at the end of all of this, these team players are still going to be found, whether the bank teller speaks or not. Because now everything financial with this bank teller and dealing with these multiple identities is all under review. And they were warned, don't do it. They were warned, don't do it. And all because they did not want to sit down somewhere and hear whatever this is about. And we still don't know what it's about. But what we do know is this bank teller done lost it all. And they next on the chopping block.